Hi all, welcome to my channel. I'm Will Wyvern. Today I want to talk about what type of witch you are. Are you an atheist witch, an agnostic witch, or a theist witch? Three major types. Everyone is different. Let's talk about what they are. Agnostic witch, that's in the middle. That is someone who doesn't necessarily believe in a god or a goddess, but they don't believe that nothing is there. They know there's a greater power. They know there's something out there. They just don't know what it is. They can't comprehend what it is. That's an agnostic. You know something's out there. You're not sure what it is. You're not going to say no. You're not going to say yes. You're just not sure. And I think that's where a majority of people fall, because they know something's out there, they just don't comprehend it. And that's why there are so many cultures, so many different names for gods and goddesses, so many different religions, because as human beings, we are trying to understand what's going on. We're trying to understand what's out there. So we know something's out there, we just don't know what it is, so we're trying to figure it out. That's an agnostic. That's somebody who's in the middle of the road. Somebody who's an atheist witch is a witch who does not believe in a god or goddess or greater power. They believe only in the science, the nature, what's around them, what they can see, what they can touch, the energy that comes from within, the relationship, the bond they have with nature, using herbs, using animals. Everything is nature centered. Everything is about the science, and that's okay. If you want to be an atheist witch, or if you are an atheist witch, that's fine. Some people believe you have to be an atheist witch. If you're a witch, you cannot believe in a god or goddess. That's what some people believe. Other people are theist witches. That means they believe in a god or goddess or gods and goddesses. They believe there's actually a greater power that controls everything, that controls the energy, controls the destiny, the fate of people. Some people believe gods and goddesses control the fate more than others. Some believe they don't. They're just there. They watch over us. Some believe they have an active interaction with us. Those are the three types of main witches. If you're an atheist, you believe in nothing. Agnostic, you believe in something, you just don't know what it is. You can't comprehend what that power is. And a theist, you believe in a god or goddess. It's okay whatever you are. It's okay if someone tells you you have to be a certain way or you can't be a certain way. If someone tells you that, if someone says you have to believe in a god or goddess, or you have to believe in nature and not a god or goddess, or you have to believe in the moon and the sun and the earth, wind, fire, earth, wind, fire, water. You have to believe in the elements. Whatever people tell you, just nod your head and say, thank you for sharing your beliefs with me. Thank you for sharing your opinions. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. And you can say the same thing to me. Thank you, Will, for sharing your beliefs and your thoughts. I think you're wrong, or I don't agree with you. And that's okay. Because as I've said in numerous videos, and as I've talked to many people, there is no Bible of Wicca. There is no central body that controls and sets the rules and regulations for the Wiccan religion, or the Wiccan belief, or the Wiccan culture. There is no sanctified body that all witches adhere to when it comes to how you practice and how you want to be a witch. Restrictions come if you join a coven or a clan or a circle. Then you have to fit in with that group, and you adapt and adjust your beliefs to fit in with theirs, and you're looking for people who believe like you do, or you're looking for people who share your common, what you want in the Wiccan religion, what you're looking for, what you believe happens. Don't let anyone tell you different. Don't let anyone tell you, oh, you can't believe in, Hecate or Odin or Bastet. You can't believe in a god or goddess. If you're a true witch, you only believe in nature. You only believe in the trees and the bond we have with animals and herbs and the elements. Don't let anybody tell you that. Everybody's going to be different. It's okay. And I know some people, myself included, I've switched back and forth. Or sometimes when I'm practicing, I'm leaning to a god or a goddess. I'm kind of feel myself being directed to or centered on a certain god or goddess. Like a lot of times it's Hecate, sometimes it's Bastet, sometimes it's Thoth. It's just, it depends on what I'm doing and where I am in my state of mind. And it's okay to fluctuate. It's okay to change. Sometimes I'm very, very agnostic. Sometimes I just believe in a greater power. I don't know what it is. I'm not going to pretend I know what it is, but I know it's there. I can feel it when I'm working my magic. I can feel it when I'm meditating. I can feel it when I'm communing with my ancestors. I know there's something out there. Sometimes I try and put a name to it with an aspect or a something that power or entity is trying to manifest itself as a god or goddess. And other times, not really an atheist, but I don't believe in the gods or goddesses that man has created, that man has named. And like I said, there are hundreds of cultures out there who have their own gods and goddesses, their own names they apply to these deities, these entities, their own beliefs, what types of gods do what, how much they interact with us, how much they give us power, how much they work into our magic, and how much they work into divination. A lot of people, when they do divination, when they read tarot cards or look in a crystal ball or do the pendulum, either they're calling to a god or goddess for guidance, or they're calling to a god or goddess to give them that message, to give them that knowledge, to read those clues in the divination, to understand what they're seeing in the crystal ball. Some people just rely on themselves, what they feel inside, their own energy, their own power. They don't want to, or they don't feel the need to believe in something greater than themselves or something else out there, something in the universe, something around them. They just want to believe in themselves, the power that they have, the power that they control. And that's okay. It's all about finding what works for you. And that's why I suggest don't label yourself as one. Maybe, if you feel comfortable with a label, you can say, oh yeah, I'm an atheist or agnostic or a theist. I believe in a god or goddess. But allow yourself to be flexible. Sometimes when you're doing your magic, sometimes when you're out in the woods or out on your back porch, in your room, you're doing a spell or just meditating or you're doing divination, sometimes you may feel that other power. And it may be a god or goddess watching over you or answering your call or, giving you the guidance that you seek. It may be that greater deity that we don't know or understand what it is. Our tiny little brains can't comprehend what is out there. But it may be it may be your ancestors. And if you believe in an afterlife, and that's the other thing, the concept of an afterlife, what happens when we die, that is so varied and that is so personal. Don't let anybody tell you you're right or you're wrong. If you believe we go to another place, like a heaven or a Valhalla or just somewhere else, another plane of existence where we continue the journey in another life form, another phase of existence. Some people believe that we all come together as one. Once we die, our knowledge, our spirit, our soul, our energy just comes together in one big grouping with the big deity, the big force that's out there. And other people believe when you die, that's it. You're gone. All your memories are gone, all your energy is gone, all your knowledge is gone, and you're at peace. You're rest in peace, you're gone. Whatever you want to believe, there is no rule that says you have to believe something if you're a witch. If you call yourself a witch, you are not ordered or you are not told that you have to believe one thing or another. So don't let people tell you that. Don't let people tell you you have to believe what they believe, or you can't believe this, or you don't, you don't have the right to call yourself a witch if you believe in a god or goddess, or you don't believe in a god or goddess. Wicca, witchcraft, it's your personal journey. It's what you're looking for, what helps you do magic, what helps you feel closer to yourself, feel closer to your magic, and you need to enjoy that. You need to find peace with your own decision. Don't let anybody make you feel guilty. Don't let anybody make you feel wrong or ignorant or stupid or mistaken. It's what works for you. As I said, if someone tries to push this on you or push their beliefs on you, telling you what's right and what's wrong, just say, hey, thank you for, sharing your opinion with me. Thank you, for sharing your knowledge. I appreciate it. And just walk away. Don't argue with someone, because then you're becoming like them. You're trying to justify your beliefs, and you don't have to justify yourself to anyone. You don't have to prove yourself to anyone. There's no grade you get when, somebody asks you how your practice goes, or, whatever you believe happens when we die. If you believe we go to a heaven, if you believe we go to an afterlife, if you believe we go to another plane of existence, whatever you believe, they're not going to look back and say, oh my gosh, you argued with so-and-so, or, oh, you disagreed with this person. It's not going to happen. This is our journey, your journey, my journey. It's what works for us. So if you're an atheist witch, if you're an agnostic witch, if you're a theist witch, whatever you are, blessings to you. Stand strong. Hold your conviction tight to your chest. Enjoy what you believe. Work on it. Study it. Learn about it. So that way you can, if somebody asks you, if somebody says, hey, I understand you're an atheist witch. How does that work for you? How do you get your power? So explain to them. Don't try to convert them. Just explain and understand what your beliefs are. Understand what, is going through your head, through your heart, how to put it into words, how to be intelligent about your belief. A lot of people just believe something without understanding what their belief is. So take the time, find what category you think you're in, and learn about it. Read about what it is to be an agnostic, what it is to be an atheist, what it is to be a theist, how that ties into you. And the more you study, the more you learn, and you may find out, well, I've always called myself a theist because I believe in Hecate or whoever, but I'm really maybe a little more agnostic. Or you may think you're agnostic, but then you're like, but heck, I call on Luna an awful lot to, bless my tools or whatever. So do some research, do some studying, find out what type of witch you are, embrace it, learn more, study more. Your magic will get greater, and you'll find a happier life in your practice. Whatever you are, whatever you decide to be, whatever you want to call yourself, you're free to do whatever you want, because this is your journey. And I wish you the best on your travels. I wish you the best success in everything you do, and blessings on whatever you want to call yourself. And as always, thank you.